Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are ready for today, because when I tell you that Marvel absolutely brought it with this comic, woo boy baby, it's good. Let's go. Predator kills the Marvel Universe, issue number 2. This is an all-out bloodbath. The Marvel Universe never stood a chance. That's because of Kraven the Hunter. He had the ear of the king. He gave them the battle plans, the strategies. And I think this is so fantastic for Kraven the Hunter. Now, don't get me wrong, and you guys know, if you've been on the channel, I'm not the biggest fan of Kraven the Hunter. In all honesty, I think he's a kind of dumb character. Like, he thinks he's a badass hunter, but in reality, he never actually kills anything. Like, he might get a bear or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not doing extravagant hunting. And anytime he goes after anything worth hunting, he usually sucks at it. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't have a strategic mind. That doesn't mean that he hasn't been observant. While he has been unsuccessful in taking down superheroes, vigilantes, things of that nature, he's studied them probably better than most. And he studied them from a predator-prey perspective. Using this on a global scale, he's able to strategically place and implement battle strategies on taking down the Marvel Universe. It all starts with killing Reed Richards. Because if you want to take Earth, you need to think of it as the ultimate trophy. And Reed Richards, he's the brain of it. You take out that, you take out the Thing, you're taking out a Thing. You take out the Fantastic Four. This is gonna be a huge blow to their counterattack. But even with an attack to the brain, even taking out a Thing, we're gonna have to hit it, and we're gonna have to hit it fast. This is gonna have to be a straight blitz. Kind of referring to what is known as the Germans' offensive, known as the blitzkrieg, or lightning war. The idea is that you're going to use speed, surprise, and overwhelming firepower, mobile forces, usually tanks, armor, things of that nature, to just go in and overwhelm the enemy forces. And so as we see them deploy all over the globe, a full-scale invasion, we pick up with Charles Xavier and Magneto. And these old two, they're sitting here having their decades-old discussion. Hell, at this point, I'd probably call it a century-old discussion about what to do about humanity. Charles wants to save them and work with them. Magneto, of course, wants to kill them and essentially rule over them, show supremacy through force. But while they have this argument, this is when something happens to Charles. His mind is touched by the Fantastic Four, because at this very moment, they are dying. He can feel the immeasurable pain. He can feel the life lost. He can hear the cry for help, but he can also hear the warning. This is where we see Magneto. He is sucked right through the ceiling. He was one of the individuals at the top of the kill list. His powers alone would have been able to bring down the Predator fleet. What they created is what they call the inversion magnet. They created this weapon specifically for Magneto, as this thing sucks him up to the ship, piece by piece, bone by bone. We see Magneto ripped apart, broken, destroyed. And back at SHIELD HQ, they don't know it, but they're currently pretending to be Peter Quill. They're pretending to be Star-Lord. They have the ship of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Kraven's in this ship, and this is their way of infiltrating into SHIELD. While Kraven makes his way into the HQ of the enemy, we pick up with Dr. Cornelius. We're at the Weapons Plus facility, and we see that the Predator, he's finally under control. The Doctor used a device. He mind-wiped the Predator, and now it follows his every directive. A new Weapon X has been created. As we hop over to the Danger Room, the X-Men are completely unaware of what is about to happen, what already has happened. They have been too busy training. All of this going on, they're battling Sentinels. But while they battle, this is when the Predators show up. And at first, they're a little confused. They're like, what kind of programming is this? This isn't any kind of training that I've seen you program before. Like, what's going on here? As they go to reboot the system, the Predators attack Cyclops. They don't just attack him, they take off Scott's whole mother flippin' jaw. And so, with our mutants now in the fight of their lives, we hop over to Avengers Tower. We have Black Widow, we have Hawkeye, and we have Captain America. With the Guardians of the Galaxy ship showing up, they go out to greet them, to see what's going on. But when no one comes out, when that ramp drops and nobody shows up, both Cap and Black Widow quickly figure out that this is a trap. With the Predators standing behind them, they still couldn't get the drop on Captain America. And like you should do in any good ambush, they turn on the enemy and they fight. And when it comes to the kill list, Fantastic Four, they're definitely at the top of it. Captain America, at the top of it. But there's another. Maybe none were a greater priority than this one. Bruce Banner. With Bruce in his lab, he sees the shield of Captain America, cracked and bloodied. That's when we see the big guy come out. Kraven knew very well, you don't stalk a bear, you bait it. And this was Kraven baiting the bear. He was baiting the Hulk to come out. But this was all a plan, all a ploy. Him and his hunting party, they're gonna get one chance. They're gonna get only one shot to take down the Hulk. And they better hope that they don't miss. That is where this issue will end. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Alright, so super awesome, super gory, super brutal, tons of shock and awe. But I gotta ask, are they actually dead? Now, Cyclops looked pretty messed up. His whole jaw looked to be missing. Magneto, we might be able to argue he's probably dead too. But we don't know if the Fantastic Four is actually dead. In fact, it looks like a lot of heroes might not actually be dead. Captain America, for example, we just see his shield. It will be rather disappointing if a lot of these characters are killed off panel. But I understand for the sake of the story, with such limited issues, you kind of want to get to the point. They did this with Avengers vs. Aliens as well. But the initial idea isn't bad. And I think Kraven's right. If you want to take Earth, if you want to take Earth's mightiest heroes down, if you want to kill them, take their skulls as trophies, you gotta hit them hard, you gotta hit them fast, and it's gotta be a surprise. You can't give them the opportunity for a counterattack. You can't give them the opportunity to regroup. If you do that, you have a good chance of being screwed. Divide and conquer, if you will. While they're already divided, that gives you the opportunity to conquer them. It's a great battle plan. It's a great strategy. They know their enemies. They know their strengths. They know their weaknesses. But what happens when you're met with a force like Scarlet Witch? Can you take everybody by surprise? Because it just takes one very powerful individual to not be surprised, to get the upper hand on anybody that comes to try and ambush them. For example, the Phoenix. And that one can easily snowball, especially here on Earth. So this comic definitely saw the win going to the Predators. But can they maintain it? Can they hold these small little victories to win the overall war? To win the overall prize? And that prize is Wakanda. That prize is vibranium. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything that has been going on with anything going on with these crossover events, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of the video. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. This is kind of like Patreon. It's got a bunch of different perks, a bunch of different options. It really does help out the channel tremendously. But if you're not able to do that, I completely understand. Do me the favor though, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.